Raise a glass and night is gone and so there's a light that leads into a world, a place to be unknown, discovered by my own. Raise a glass and sing along. So raise your glass, your home's where you belong. Feel the love, my brother, sing along. Celebrating, drinking all night long. Feel the earth moving.
Hello, welcome everybody.
Hi everyone. How's it going?
It's our sleepover party.
It's sleepover party. Yes. Also, Emily's stuffed animal is the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my whole fucking life.
It is a plague doctor, and his lantern, it actually it glows in the dark.
No, stop.
It does.
It gets better. I fucking love that.
Michael
Why
and I,
so cute.
We keep him in the living room, and he just
a good boy.
Keeps an eye on everything. Yeah, like a good boy.
He's
and I love your Shiba.
He's an anger. He's anger pillow, and he has anus. The best butt. Wait, see it. I need everyone to look at it for a long time. There we go.
We all need to just hearken to the anus for a minute or two. And
it's so fucking great. It's the best part. You're right. If it does make the toy or the plushie, well, he's soft.
Adorable.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Arcana Check, everybody. I'm Emily, and that's Andrea, and we're here to talk about spooky stuff. I was trying to think of, like, with respect to the accidental theme that we've been kind of putting together of this slumber party. I was like, what was something you were afraid of as a kid, like, in terms of, like, a spooky thing?
Girl, I was afraid of everything.
Oh.
Well, I'm like my religious trauma girl. I was, it's a whole fucking thing. I mean, like, I think the devil in general, in all its forms, like, that's the thing about it, right? It could just be, all things, influences things. That was fucking terrifying. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I don't like, do real spooky stuff for a reason. Still,
right.
Working through that trauma, but like, yeah. Is there something that you remember from when you were a kid that you're like particularly like, fuck, it's terrifying?
Return the Slab from Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I loved Courage, but I hated it. Oh my god! But yes, that's fucking terrifying.
I feel like
Holy fuck.
if you were born in anywhere between like the late 80s and the mid 90s, you know, Return the Slab from Courage the Cowardly Dog. It was so creepy.
Dude, like, yeah, no, that one was the worst, but like Courage has some bullshit that like I was like, you know, it's a lot. There was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot sometimes.
It was. I don't know. I know we've got a couple of viewers and hi Rudolph.
Hi.
I don't
sleepover.
Yeah, we are having a sleepover. Rudolph, are you familiar at all with Courage the Cowardly Dog? We've been talking about how Return the Slab scarred us as children.
Among other things, but yes. That's
yes,
like,
among other things.
Now
that's
I'm like,
true.
wait, now I want to look it up again. Mostly because I hate it, but also because like I feel like, is there any like lore around that?
Eustace looked just like my grandfather used to look.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes
that's terrifying.
As a kid, I'd be like, it's Pop-Up. But
he was an asshole. Was your Pop-Up an asshole?
No, but he was.
He just looked like.
He had never seen Courage the Cowardly Dog, but at one point he said to my childhood dog, "You stupid dog," and I just like my brain exploded. I was like, "Oh my god!"
You're like, oh. Yeah, there's like an article about like the scariest episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog ever is Return the Slab.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, 100%. Like I feel like I genuinely like still like that was fucking terrifying.
Ed Fortune, thank you for the sub.
Aww,
2-month sub.
Thanks, friend. It's the 2-month sub song.
I'm trying to like cuddle this in a way that it's not gonna just like completely disappear into my background. Well, yeah, and the Courage the Cowardly Dog episode. So that one is about like, I was gonna say, okay, so I was like, that one's about a mummy, right? Like the Return the Slab. It's all like a mummy curse kind of a deal, and then I was just kind of like, Andrea, have you seen The Mummy? The Brendan Fraser masterpiece, The Mummy.
Oh, of course. I love that it's had like a weird renaissance recently, but of course I have. Like Brendan Fraser, and I also love how it's like a bi like fucking thing. Everyone's just like so into it.
I know. I don't know,
but it was terrifying too as a child. But like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but like I feel like for anyone who had vague inklings toward more than one gender identity, The Mummy showed up and was like, "You're bi now," or "You're like, pan
hello.
now," or you know, some form of that. Just kind of it you know, summons the bisexuality wizard, The Mummy.
It was and I don't know what happened. Why is it recently like come back? But like, yeah, I recently rewatched it only because I was like, well, when I say recently, in the last few months, but like, you know, it's been years since it came out, like, so it makes sense. But yeah, I don't know why it's like recently been like a whole fucking thing, but I love it. I'm here for it.
I am too. It's been nice to kind of like revisit it a little bit, and I haven't had the courage to watch it. Reason being is like I have such fond memories of it. I wore that VHS tape out as a kid, and I know as an adult I will be watching it and being like,
Yeah, I can see that. Well, Brandon got slammed by Hollywood.
And
is that what happened?
Oh, because he's back. I see. It's all about Brendan Fraser. Neat. I love that for him. He's wonderful.
I mean, honestly, he's a good guy, right? Overall, like, you know, he hasn't done anything particularly terrible, right? That I'm aware
Not that I know of.
That's good.
He's awesome in Doom Patrol. I don't know if you've seen Doom Patrol, but Doom Patrol.
I have not.
Doom Patrol. I highly recommend. It is a lot of fun.
Is it also like an oldie? Like
no, this is brand new. It's in its 3rd season, if I recall correctly.
Oh, It's a show.
Mhm.
Oh.
Brendan Fraser plays a robot who used to be a race car driver.
I love that. I don't fucking get like that was a great premise. I love that. You know, if you're gonna start a show about anything, fuck it. That's great.
Yeah.
You know, it's good that we're talking about. Yeah. Sorry, please finish.
No. I insist.
I was just gonna kind of go back to the Mummy because I mean, like, it does like. I mean, obviously, like, it's not as great as you probably remember it, but like, I feel like for me, like, movies that I watched and like I really liked when I was younger, even when I see their flaws, I'm like, nah, but this is still good enough. Like me rewatching like dumb shit for some reason, growing up, my siblings and I, you know how you end up having like a few DVDs or a few VHSs, and that's literally it. That's your content.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of the fucking movies that we had was called Bringing Down the House, and it was featuring Steve Martin and Queen Latifah. And for some fucking reason, that was a movie that we loved so much. My brother, to this day, Nacho TV, who is not here right now, can fucking quote the entire movie because for some reason it made such a lasting impact. And then you rewatch it and you're like, this does not hold up. Like, this is problematic as fuck. But like, I'm still like, you know, I kind of really like it. I can't not like it. There's so many things like that. So I feel like The Mummy is like that. Obviously, it's not as terrible, but like, you know, it's like, I still love it. It's fine.
There are definitely a handful of things that I reflect on. I'm like, it's problematic in The Mummy. But yeah, no, I saw Bringing Down the House once as a child. I don't remember much of it. But
it's such a stupid movie.
I love that it's like an inside joke, though.
Yeah, I think at this point is it. I feel like it's one of those, like, there's a few movies, and that's one of them where, like, it's like an induction into, like, my family's brain, mostly my siblings' brain and I, because that's one of the rent-free ones. Another one is Robots, that really shitty movie that they made about robots. It wasn't good, but we really liked it, and we rewatched it a lot.
That's another one that I saw, I think, exactly once.
Yeah, it's not good. Again, not good movies, but like for some reason, we just rewatched it a lot. Also, like the Jungle Book, but Jungle Book 2, not the first one. I don't fucking know. We just watched the second one. I barely remember the first one, but like the second one, we watched a lot.
You know, the whole plot of the second one.
It's so dumb. It's really stupid.
I don't know what happens in the second one, but I'm just imagining you being like, right, and Baloo falls off a cliff, and everyone's like, what? That doesn't happen in the Jungle Book.
It's like Mowgli basically falls in love. Well, not falls in love because he's a child, but like he meets other humans, and then he's like, oh god, and then it's really sad because he has to leave his jungle family. Aww. It's like a whole thing. But like, you know, then they're like, oh, let's be friends with nature, like that kind of like ending. So like he can live with people but still go back into nature sometimes. It's cute.
That is cute. That makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside.
I know, like how I'm feeling because of the blanket and the cute baby.
Yes. I see that we have some stuff from Rudolph. Apparently, Brendan Fraser's blacklisting into Hollywood was related to a thing that rhymes with schmexmol schmasalt.
Oh. He outed someone. Wait. So he outed someone that was doing it?
Yeah. Someone had sexually assaulted him, and he spoke out about it, and that was why he wasn't hired for a while, which is horrible. And very
That's really sad. I didn't know that about him.
Yeah.
Also, I like that comment about the Denny's.
You know how some towns have a good Denny's and that Denny's? Brandon's The Mummy is the good one. Yeah,
exactly. I would still go to that dentist for sure. Like, not that dentist, like the good dentist that we're referring to be clear. Not that one.
Yeah, that one. And especially, I think too, like, so you've got like that one is the Tom Cruise one, and then there's like the Boris Karloff one, which I guess I would call like, oh, that's where the Denny's used to be.
That's where it used to be. Remember?
Remember, it was 1938 or whatever year the Karloff mummy came out. I'm gonna look it up now just because I'm like, did I nail? If I nailed that, I'm gonna be like, I'm a witch.
I'm real proud of you, but I'm also gonna be like, I'm not that surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like you have good memory.
1932. Okay, I'm not a witch. All right, today I'm not a witch.
Not today, at least. We don't have enough moon water.
Yeah, that's true. Gotta charge my crystals and stuff. So I was thinking about this. Do you remember a while ago when they found that black sarcophagus and it was full of mummy juice and people made that petition to drink the mummy juice?
I love sometimes I fucking love. I feel like the best thing that the internet has done has been like, let's allow people to make petitions, whether or not they're binding or not. Like, fuck it. Like, let's just see what people really like.
So good.
So fucking stupid. I think I loved that one. Was great. I think like what year was that? Like I know
I was in grad school.
Year, but
I want to say it was
kind of
early
recently.
2017.
Yeah, like it's not super.
I'm just gonna Google drink the mummy juice. Okay. So, I love that it was on change.org. That is, oh, yes.
Like whatever they have, like that bullshit on Move On and like fucking change.org. This is incredible.
This is from 2018. This petition wants to turn the bone broth into quote unquote some kind of carbonated energy drink.
Also, I like how Rudolph is like, I'm gonna write a D&D campaign about idiots drinking mummy juice. Exactly, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like a dumb party like campaign start. Like someone was an idiot and drank the fucking juice that they found in a sarcophagus.
Then it's just like, this is how it happens. This is it.
Dude, between the petitions, like I love the petitions because sometimes they're just dumb. The other thing I liked was like, do you remember like, I think this was like 2017, 2018 as well. Everything just started, like the timeline divergence in 2016 after that election. Really like, we're now in a very dark, but very cool and dank timeline, right? Like that's where we are. And I think a lot of the things that started happening after that, like, remember when there were like all these Facebook events when the fucking like hurricane started to like hit and people were like, let's just push Florida somewhere else, like or like everyone turn your fans towards the hurricane to make it go away. So I feel like that, and then like obviously like the iconic like Naruto Ramen Area 51,
right?
That's like iconic. I think about that a lot. I'm like, this is why I'm still alive, because of those random like bursts of serotonin from people's stupidity.
So
it's kind of great.
Or like Furnace Party. I don't know if you know about Furnace Party in Philly.
No, what is that?
There were like these flyers that were just in these insane flyers. And also the sarcophagus with the mummy juice was 2018. I just was like, before I.
It makes sense, yeah.
Before
that's like I tell you, that's where everything. The timeline was like, okay, like we ended up in this fucking timeline. I don't know. I hope the other Andrea is doing okay. I'm sure she's thriving, or doing a little bit better at least.
I don't know. Who knows? Maybe like the gritty reboot timeline is the peak one. We don't know.
The one true timeline.
The one true Andrea. So there was like this letter, like in terms of the Furnace Party, that was like floating around Philadelphia randomly, and I'm trying to find. Here we go, the text of it, because it was just strange nonsense. And then everyone was like, "Fucking yeah!" and they threw a party.
Let's go.
And they did it. So this is, at the top it says ABBA, like the band. And then it says, this is to inform you that all the food ate since first grade is alive in your body, especially the dead animal remains or meat, since it was cooked alive and is alive in your body. Anywhere it goes now, you must go with it. That's 365 days a year from first grade to now. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, Also, newborn baby received your first grade body, or a meal just like the 365 days a year, breakfast, lunch, dinner. The only way I see for you to save yourself from the every which way of being burned alive that's scheduled is to become a solid steel statue by placing yourself under anesthesia and mixing your body with melted metal and then resolidifying the metal or seal yourself in cement. When it becomes real to you, you can type it up and have a lot of copies made and then pass them out and post them up. What is needed is a steel furnace where metal can be melted and the bodies of people and animals mixed with the metal to become steel, unable to be hurt. Of course, you'll be sedated first. There will be a meeting on April 27th, 2019 at 12 o'clock in the afternoon on the subject of building a steel furnace at 27th and Girard Avenue on the vacant lot. What we need is a bulldozer to dig some ditches and steel furnace equipment. And then the last in bold at the bottom, do attend.
Wait, how come I don't remember that? And that makes me really sad because that sounds like that's incredible. And then people showed up, obviously. I'm assuming a lot of people showed up. That
Oh
makes
yeah,
perfect
there was
fucking sense.
there was a DJ and everything. It was furnace party, you know.
I love that. It's Jude
Law!
the actor.
Hi, Jude Law. Oh, friend of the show, Jude Law. It is always so exciting to see you.
You were at the furnace party, my dude?
That's awesome.
The fuck? Oh god, I fucking hate
Of
like
course
why did
you
I
were.
miss that?
You are a legend,
Yeah, it makes
Jude
sense.
Law, the actor.
Jude Law the actor is a legend, and I'm glad you're here. Like humbly like visiting us, like makes us humble. Like, oh, it's so nice that Jude Law is here.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't believe that furnace party though. I'm just shook still by that.
Every time I hear
that was all on a flyer. That's so much like information on a flyer.
it looked kind of like, 12-point Times New Roman. Do
It was like
attend.
a page single space like of content or like double space. It's still fine. It's incredible.
It's wild stuff. I mean, but I do think Area 51 Naruto running at it, that is king of the.
My favorite
the
thing
meme
is that at
events.
some point like they were like, oh, we have security standby because we don't know what to fucking expect. They were like, oh no, what is happening? And then like, dude, I don't know if this is like, okay, okay. My memory might be faulty, but like, I'm going to tell a story like it's not, and this is actually something. One of my friends, he works for DOD. And then at some point he used to be my roommate. I have this distinct memory of him like getting back home or whatever and just being like, I had to fucking attend a brief today where someone had to explain what a Naruto run was to people in the fucking Department of Defense because they didn't understand what to expect from the Area 51 run. And I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Did you see the pictures? Like, I know a guy on Reddit got like some photos of one of the superior officers like with a PowerPoint and everything, like explaining the Naruto run.
And that makes sense. Like, look, yeah, I believe that, honestly. If there's photos, even better.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I was just like, damn, this is such a weird timeline. I love it, but it's so fucking weird. Oh no.
And I'm seeing.
Oh, Jude Law is saying something else. Yeah, please.
Yeah. Oh no, I was gonna say Jude Law was in Philadelphia for the furnace party. The amount of shitty cishet men taking it too seriously was far too much to make it fun. Well, that's a bummer.
Aww.
I'm glad it was fun while it lasted, though. And
cishet men out here just ruining things.
I'm imagining like them taking it too seriously in a way that like they're trying to like, I don't know. They're like
actually do a furnace.
Right. I don't know. It kind of reminds me.
Why'd you guys bring supplies? There was a fucking list. We told you what we were doing.
Just like, guys, I don't even know. I want to be first in the furnace, and I'll fight anyone who wants to go first. I'm gonna go first.
Rips off shirt. It's not a very impressive body underneath. Like, it's fine. It's very average body. Like, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's just a fine body.
It weirdly reminds me
Yeah,
of...
I believe you. Holy fuck, Jude Law is like, that's basically what happened.
Oh, gosh.
Fucking Kyle explaining shadow jujutsu. Just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case you need to know. If also, like, shadow clone jutsu, my dudes, if you see more than one of the same person, they cracked it. Hi, Nacho.
Hi, Nacho.
I was talking about bringing down the house for a hot second there, and how it's like a family staple.
And I'm just seeing, didn't some dude dress as a ninja attack a military post and disappear somewhat recently? What?
I want to know.
I'm gonna look into this.
Fucking tell me. Was he wearing one of like the Hidden Leaf or like another village's like fucking headbands? If so, he is my hero.
So this is from the Army Times, and
keep going.
The totally real Army Times.
Just keep going.
The headline is Special Ops Soldiers Evade Late Night Ninja Attack at California Airport.
That's it. There's like no.
So let's see. An unknown man in quote unquote full ninja garb to include a katana sword.
That's not what.
Walked up to the staff sergeant, and asked if the soldier knew him, and he said no. Although this guy was like masked, so even if he did, like, I don't know. And let's see here. Oh my god. The incident report. The incident report has been made available between 100.
We're getting a FOIA for this. Sorry.
We did what?
We're getting a FOIA just to get the whole details on this fucking thing.
I know.
Sorry. The Army Times. News for the real Army military people with real military Army jobs who need news, but the Army version of it, and it's real and legit for sure. That's exactly it. How did you know what the tagline was? That's exactly it.
Yeah. Like Washington Post, Democracy Dies in Darkness, and Army Times is exactly what you wrote. I don't have it memorized because I'm a civilian, but...
Exactly. But if you were in the Army, you would know by heart. It's like the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, you just see it everywhere. All right, are you ready for this incident report?
I'm not, but let's go.
Okay. Between 100 and 200 on the 18th of September 2021, the person, whatever their name was sitting outside of the administration building on the hangar at, something's covering that. Is it Eokern? At an airfield base, smoking a cigarette when an unknown person wearing full ninja garb to include a katana sword walked up. The person stated, "Do you know who I am?" Sergeant replied, "No." The unknown person then asked, "Do you know where my family is?" Sergeant again stated, "No." At this point, the person... Sorry, your giggle's so infectious.
I'm sorry. I'm just like, where is she? Basically,
his family, what? At this point, the person in the ninja garb began to slash at the sergeant, striking his phone and his knee and leg. Sergeant immediately began running through the parking lot, trying to evade the unknown person, jumped the fence, and entered the admin building. Sergeant so-and-so and Captain so-and-so began locking all the doors and calling 911, understandably. The person in ninja garb was kicking and punching doors and windows. The unknown person left and returned a few minutes later with a large block of asphalt, which he threw through the window of the admin building, striking the captain. The unknown person then left and was arrested elsewhere. The local police arrived and took statements from involved persons. Sergeant received multiple stitches to the leg, and Captain received multiple stitches to the head. Both individuals are cleared to return to duty. Huh. That, like...
What?
I can't wrap my head around how effectively this person hulked out. Like, the setup of that, I was expecting it to just kind of be like, but no!
It was someone that knew, no, I don't know if they knew what they were doing, but, like, they were, like, accurate enough to, like, hit them. So that's something.
Yeah, that is
I'm
crazy.
very shook. I'm also shook because he's like, where is my family? I'm like, was he okay? Is his family really, like, not with him at the moment?
I don't
Is
know.
it really the military's fault?
I know, right? Like, so...
yeah, sorry.
Oh, no, what I was...
Like, the idea that a military outpost personnel had to call the cops because of a ninja attack is truly some fucked up shit. I know, it's like that. That's incredible. Can you imagine me a cop? I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm at the military post and I'm a military person, but like, there's a fucking ninja here and I don't know what to do about it.
I feel like that would be one of those things where, like, you know, if it were a movie, you'd be like, you guys gotta stop fucking doing these prank calls. They're so stupid. And, like, hang up, right? Like,
either that or you'd be like, this is so unrealistic. Like, why would the military person call the cops? Like, they're clearly better trained for this.
I just, yeah, well, and then too,
fucking shook.
Like, because I just also imagine, like, the dispatcher probably had to, like, ask a couple times, just like, I'm sorry, what? A katana.
How do you spell that? Also, are you sure, sir? Have you been drinking and or smoking this evening? It's also 2 a.m. to be fair. I would ask that question.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, if I had a nickel for every time I was on a military base and got attacked by ninjas.
And if you got a call, if you had a nickel for every call as a 911 responder, when someone tells you that they're at a military base and they're being attacked by ninjas, you'd have more than one nickel for sure, at least more than one.
Yeah, and like, there's a picture of the sword that this person used. It looks relatively, I don't know what's going on, because like I don't know if it got beaten up or what happened. It looks a little funky.
I'm also like, I want to know who this person is. I want to know more about the ninja.
Yeah,
national
I do
hero?
too.
Question mark. Question mark.
So now I'm on NPR, and a one of the, like, headings for some of the paragraphs on this story is, the ninja didn't obey deputy's orders.
The ninja was rogue.
The ninja went rogue.
No fucking shit. Do you know what a ninja is? Sorry.
So they found the ninja on a nearby road. They were just kind of like, hey, like, I guess presumably they went to the military base and then they were like, I guess we have to find this.
And then the guy was probably like, I'm gonna go to 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee to cool down after that.
Yeah. And then
Jesus
the man
Christ
refused, quote unquote, refused to follow commands and brandished the sword at deputies, according to the sheriff's office. Projectile rounds were used, but were ineffective, it added. Were ineffective!
Was he actually out here, like, fucking... Wait, is this guy for real? I love him. Wait, what? Or them, or whatever, the ninja person.
Instead the man ran. When deputies used a taser on him, he dropped the sword, and deputies were able to take him into custody. He was identified as Gino Rivera, 35.
Gino Rivera?
Mm-hmm.
So, tell me more about Gino.
I want to know more about Gino. I feel like I'm concerned that there won't be enough information on Gino. We're gonna keep digging.
I'm very concerned that I'll be left wanting more after this. I need more Gino.
Write him. Just write him like a fan mail.
Am I gonna be one of those ladies that sends fan mail to men in prison now because I want to get fan mail to Gino? I'm like, Gino, you are my hero.
I just need to know your story, Gino.
Tell me your version of the events. Where is your family, Gino? I need to know.
Here's what I need. I need this story. I need Rochemont of this story. I need a film that is the sergeant, the captain, the deputies, and Gino's perspectives on everything.
I need it too. I want it really badly.
I do too.
I'm like, Gino, I want to know what happened on your side because I believe you more than I believe the military times or whatever the fuck.
Well, yeah. Or NPR.
Okay, NPR, fine, NPR. NPR can keep, like, yeah, that's fine.
They're probably we don't trust them over Gino though.
No, Gino's first person account of what happened is more important to me.
Yes.
Than anything else.
So he was arrested for a litany of charges like attempted homicide, assault with a deadly weapon, etc., etc. Let's see, we talked about the stitches already. Yeah, so but really that was all that the NPR article had about Gino. But I'm gonna look into it. We're gonna find more out about this fellow.
Also, goodbye, Jude Law. Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Friend of the show,
Bye.
Jude Law.
I'm a dumb Bye.
Now when you search Gino Rivera, the very first thing that comes up is Ninja, and then after that it's how old he is. I just want to know more, and I feel like whatever's going on with this story, there's just what? Oh my God, maybe.
I mean, there's gonna be a lot of Gino Riveras on Facebook.
That's true too. I just want to know more. One of the related searches is Gino Rivera Facebook. I mean, I want something where there's like a, I'm hoping for an article that's just like interview or like, oh, he was quoted as saying, da da da.
Yeah. Also,
Um,
if at the very least, can we know what prison he was sent to? If he was sent to prison, like, did his trial already go through? I want to know because I can send a letter asking questions. That's all I want to know. What happened? Tell me your side.
I just. Oh, some news sources say he's 53 and others say he's 35. I think he's probably 35 based on like just how he laid waste.
Mobility.
Yeah. To everything.
I'd be really impressed if he was like over 50.
Yeah, right?
Like impressive as fuck.
I'm impressed to begin with, and that would just be like a whole nother level. There's apparently a wrestler, like a professional wrestler called Gino Rivera. I don't think it's the same one.
That'd be kind of cool if it were, but it's probably
That'd
not.
be wild. Trying to find some stuff about the thing. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's because this was so relatively recent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That, like, because
That's true. That was really recent too. I was like, I think Jude Law was the one that was like, it's really surprising. I was like, yeah, that's fucking, yeah.
like a month and a half ago. It's crazy.
What state was this in? Just no, I'm not gonna keep looking at it now, but like if I have to look into it later.
California.
Oh, okay. I'm like, was this Florida? Classic. No.
Oh my gosh, and I just saw the message about Jude Law making a Jude Law tabletop RPG, which, yes.
Oh my god, yes. Wait, sorry, I just my brain registered what the fuck was happening. Oh my god, if that actually happens, I'm so down. I would be very down to do that.
I'd be very down to do that as well.
Happy.
I mean, like, I'm trying to think of other weird, like, either meme situations or military base shenanigans.
I'm trying to think because I know that Nacho like mentioned last time of like this guy who was definitely like around the same time where like fucking Project Stargate was happening, but like he was dealing with like supernatural stuff in Utah. We found out his name, but like I'm like there's just so many weird like military like contingencies. Like I don't know. I don't remember any more memes. Like my top meme was definitely like the Naruto run thing, but like. I was like, that's incredible.
I had to explain it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, sorry, that this has given me a lot to think about all at once. I'm kind of like,
I'm like, you think his trials are gonna be like open to the public?
I don't know. That would be interesting as well.
That'd be fun. We should make a campaign to get people to go and defend him.
I'm just
ask, where is his family? He just wants to know.
I'm so curious. I am so curious what is going on with that. I don't know. I feel like that is all very intense, and there has to be something going on there, and I want to learn more. Because it does sound like, you know, he was going through it. I mean, obviously that doesn't give you carte blanche to like stab people with a katana, but I mean, you know, I'm just saying, like,
he was Liam Neesoning it, you know? Yeah, a little bit, but he was doing it against the law. Like, you know, he was doing it against people who are government officials. I don't fucking know the term for them. Basically, it's not like he was like doing it with like a bunch of like drug ring leaders where you're like kind of like, oh, okay, well, he's just like doing the police's job basically. No. It
wasn't organized. It was just some sort of vigilante vendetta situation.
Some fucking shit. I can't tell what it was, but it was something.
Yeah.
Oh.
You look so cozy.
I keep trying to keep it on. I'm cozied up for sure.
Yes.
Not to be mistaken with coked up, which is a different thing.
Oh, I thought of a mummy related thing.
Go. About the dumb mummy Jews or the mummy the movie?
It's like the mummy Jews. So back in Victorian times, they used to like eat mummies.
Really? Do explain. Why?
Yeah. I'm looking it up because I'm trying to remember. So, and also there's a color of brown that is called mummy brown, where like the ground up mummy was used to like make pigment.
Really? Mm-hmm. I love that though. I love that fucking like art bullshit. Also, Rudolph wants to know, is your plushie a penguin or a plague doctor?
It is a plague doctor. It has the
cutest fucking plague doctor in the world.
It's
and he has a lamp.
A little lamp. Ready to make things worse. Because plague doctors.
He's excited. He's excited.
Plague doctors were just like irresponsible lunatics. It's amazing. Just chef's kiss.
They were just like, you know, back in the day, you could just do it. You could get away with it. I mean, today you probably could still, but like, you know, more so before.
Yeah. It was easier to not get fact checked.
No one needed that.
Second beer. I knew I would want a second one.
That was incredible. You already had it. And it has its own koozie. That's amazing.
I stashed it. Well, yeah, the koozie to keep it cold. Like I was ready. We've been doing this for a few months. I'm ready now.
I know. It's taken us a while, but like that makes sense. Good.
Get in there. All right. So are you ready for like the mummy eating stuff?
No, but let's go.
Okay.
I'm excited.
This is from Richard Sugg, S-U-G-G, of England's University of Durham, Mummies, Cannibals, and Vampires, the history of corpse medicine for the Renaissance, from the Renaissance to the Victorians. For several hundred years, peaking in the 16th and 17th centuries, many Europeans, including royalty, priests, and scientists, routinely ingested remedies containing human bones, blood, and fat as medicine for everything from headaches to epilepsy.
Okay.
There were a few vocal proponents of the practice, even though cannibalism in the newly explored Americas was reviled as a mark of savagery. They were like, that's different cannibalism. It's
weird when the brown people do it.
Yeah.
When we do it is like fine because it's for science.
It's classy cannibalism.
It's classy. It's whitewash cannibalism, if you will.
Oh my god. The mummies were stolen from Egyptian tombs, and skulls were taken from Irish burial sites. Grave diggers robbed and sold body parts. The question was not, should you eat human flesh? But what sort of human flesh should you eat? So the Egyptian mummy crumbled into tinctures to like stop internal bleeding, it looks like. But other body parts soon followed. So skull was a common ingredient, taken in powdered form to cure head ailments. Because if your head hurts...
Word association, basically, in medicine. They're like, what if... Listen to me. What if your head bone is what you need to help your head right now?
We're gonna go.
Makes sense.
Gonna go to Ireland. We're gonna find some guy named Eamon. He's already gonna be dead. Eamon has to be.
I killed him.
He has to be dead first. That's part of it. It
only works if he's dead.
I just saw the mummies equal human jerky. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's basically it, apparently.
Why not? Thomas Willis, a 17th century pioneer of brain science, brewed a drink for apoplexy, or bleeding, that mingled powdered human skull and chocolate.
Oh my god. I swear to god, I'm just gonna say it. What the fuck, white people? They were like, let's bring this exotic thing from America. Mm-hmm. Let's mix it with this weird like thing that is like clearly like not cool, because cannibalism has not been cool like basically like in a long time at this point. Like they were like, you know what, magic. This is what it's gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, I was just like, this is a huge what the fuck. And even King Charles II, who I think seems to be a fun king when it comes to English kings.
Fun.
He just showed up and was like, let's party. Sorry about that whole Puritan moment. It's not my fault.
Sorry.
They killed my dad, but now I'm back. We can have Christmas again.
Is she?
Where's my family?
Where is my family?
Charles II came back with a katana.
That's who Gino Rivera is. It's Charles II reincarnated. That's what it is. We figured it out.
I am here for that movie as well. It's
2 movies featuring Gino Rivera.
Oh my god.
2 different versions.
2 Gino Rivera movies. And I'm just like, I was like, it's like Jubilee, except instead of Queen Elizabeth, it's Charles II, and instead of like punk rock 70s England time, it's now at a military base, and he's a ninja.
Yeah, so, for some reason, yeah. He's also Latino. It works. My fucking works. I love that.
I love it too. I love it a lot. Okay, so he sipped the king's drops, Charles II did, his personal tincture containing human skull and alcohol. Even the toupee of moss that grew over a buried skull, called an, U-S-N-E-A, Usnea? Usnea?
Usnea. I like it.
Usnea.
I want to name my daughter that. Usnea. What is it named after? The moss that grows in skulls that kind of looks like a toupee. That's what you're named after.
You're a skull toupee.
So fucking ridiculous.
They thought the powdered skull toupee would solve nosebleeds and possibly epilepsy. And human fat was used to treat the outside of the body. We've all seen Fight Club. It's so.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. It's the same. Sure.
German doctors, for instance, prescribed bandages soaked in it for wounds, and rubbing fat into the skin was considered a remedy for gout.
Okay, sure. Was also like, yeah, no, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, but I don't know if I remember. I'm really bad at names. Wasn't there like a noble lady that had like epilepsy that basically killed a bunch of people, a bunch of like young, like girls basically because she wanted their blood to drink their blood.
Elizabeth Báthory.
That's who it is. I was like,
I didn't know she was epileptic. That's interesting.
I thought that was like the main reason. Like that's when like she started taking it when she was younger because the doctor was like, this makes sense.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, she suffered from severe epileptic seizures. Although
she was also a lesbian. She just had like scissoring for days.
For days on end.
Also.
And, yeah, until she had had to stop due to needing to kill everyone. Well, I said seizures, but I accidentally said Caesars, and I was like, well, Caesar also, if I recall correctly, Julius Caesar, I believe, had epilepsy as well.
Oh, really?
If I recall correctly, I might be wrong. I'm gonna fact check myself.
Fact check herself. It's just like mostly. I'm gonna make a compilation YouTube video and put it on YouTube where like it's just like Emily like fact checking herself and like 90% of the time she's right.
Interesting. Okay. So it is I guess a misconception possibly, or something where like we know that like he suffered from something. Some people say a seizure disorder of some sort. Other people say mini strokes. Other people say like, that they were proper like instances of epilepsy. So it's up in the air kind of. Okay. Yeah, as things are. I mean, but there was
something.
Yeah,
like,
but yeah,
it's not exactly a seizure, but like
right, it's
somewhere around that area. There was like some like thoughts about that seizures and Caesar. I like that it rhymes.
Yeah, but yeah, it can't either way. Like it has to be a difficult thing to have to deal with on a medical level. And I know that in ancient Rome, they used to equate like physical illness with either like being weak or sometimes like a weaker moral fiber or whatever, like, so
yeah, that makes sense. As like a ruler, I can see how that's like no one can actually know, or like,
right, yeah, like they got to keep that on the down low because he's supposed to be Mr. Emperor man. Well, and
he's carrying the expectations of the world on his shoulders, literally.
Well, I mean, heck, my mama every now and again, like, will talk about how nobody knew that FDR was in a wheelchair during World War II.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like, I don't know if it was you who mentioned it recently, but like, yeah, like
me.
but like, yeah, it's a very good point. Like, it was like one of those, especially because like during wartime, like, it's like weird. You don't want to be that fucking person.
Yeah, I mean, I would say probably me because I was like, I think about it all the time, just like something like that one of the first things you think of when you hear FDR is like that, he, unfortunately, was very ill during his presidency.
But at the time, no one knew.
Right.
That's crazy.
Because everything was, they would just like do a lot of things to, film him in such a way that you couldn't tell. Just couldn't tell.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It matters. The image of power, right? It's important.
Yeah, and I find that fascinating. Right? This idea.
I do too. But it's just like this, back to the point of like power, like a lot of things is relative, and also like mostly like it's an abstract thing. So like if you really like, there's like, I mean, yeah, you can measure how much money you have or whatever, but like in the end, like if you want to like show power, you have to like feed into particularly weird like conceptions about power that might not actually have anything to do with power. Like being in a wheelchair doesn't necessarily mean that you're still the fucking president of the United States. But like people might be like, oh no, he's in a wheelchair.
I mean, and two, I guess I think about like, the alternatives, right? Where like, I'm like, in terms of, I was trying to think of like presidents that I was like, oh, they really embraced who they were. And I was like, the one that made me kind of go like, oh, was James Buchanan, who, to my understanding, everyone was just like, oh yeah, he's gay. That's his partner. Like
that's it.
Pretty.
There he goes.
Like just kind of was himself. He the flip side of that would be Andrew Jackson, who was a complete lunatic, psychopath, horrible. I can't even like
literally the fucking like. How did he get into power is my first question, but mostly like Jesus fucking Christ.
I know that this is like really far from the point of like the mummy stuff, and I do want to get back to
it's fine.
Elizabeth Bathory, and I do want to get back to the mummy thing.
Moment for Andrew Jackson being a fucking insane person.
Do you know about the time that he was challenged to a duel by this dude who was like the duelist? This guy was like 26 years old, probably had like an ass that could crack a walnut. Like this guy was just like
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
You've been watching like Big Mouth. It's fine.
Did that happen in Big? Oh my god.
Oh no. Sorry, never mind. It's fine. Continue. This is that was a quick side. No, it's fine.
No,
irrelevant.
I've been doing a lot of cleaning because Dan is coming to visit on Friday, and I have been playing Big Mouth in the background as I've been cleaning. So maybe I must have absorbed that. Is that thing that Lola says? Who says cracked a walnut with their ass?
No, they have this whole thing where Kumal, like the guy who's like in Eternals.
Yeah.
He like is like talking about like No Nut November, and at some point there's a whole scene where he's like just cracking a walnut with his ass cheeks.
Now that you say that, I'm like, oh, I remember now. Yeah. Thank you. Because I was like, why is that the first thing that my mind thinks of? Now I know it's because of Big Mouth and Camille Najani.
That makes sense. Sorry. So okay. Yeah. Sorry.
So no. Okay. So he's 26. He has got the ass, and he's got the gun, and I don't even totally remember why they were dueling, but doesn't even matter because Andrew Jackson, if I recall correctly, was in like 100 duels. But anyway, Andrew Jackson was comparatively like not in the same place physically, and knew it, and he was like, here's my plan. I'm gonna let him shoot me, and then I'm going to shoot him. So this dude did indeed shoot Andrew Jackson, and Andrew Jackson was just like, okay, and then took his time, and like the gun kind of like half misfired, but there was like some kind of like a funky rule scenario where he could like reload it and try again. But basically like he just had all the time in the world to shoot this dude, and he killed him. Andrew Jackson lived, but he killed the nutcracker.
The duelist man. The nutcracker. That's his name now. He's called the Nutcracker.
I feel like I should look up his name since I'm speaking so much about his posterior.
As like an honorarium, like, or but like
Yeah.
also like I think the Nutcracker is a dope ass like nickname, so I don't think he'd be mad. Also, Rudolph, you say it's not that hard to like crack a walnut with your ass. Like, if you want to send us a video of you doing it, or like point us to a video of someone doing it, I would not be upset about that. Because that sounds fucking insane.
I would be interested.
Yeah, exactly. I'm very fucking curious.
It's like when you see those videos of someone like breaking a watermelon with their thighs and you're like, wow.
Wow! There's so much power in those legs. Wow.
I love it. Okay, so... Oh, I forgot that it was also like this convoluted thing where the initial quarrel started because of some sort of bizarre accusation of cheating on a horse race bet. So, like, we don't even... But then, like, as it was escalating, this guy insulted Andrew Jackson's wife. And Andrew Jackson married a lady that was already married because he didn't give a fuck, but he didn't like it when people reminded him. So...
Fucking Andrew Jackson. Fuck is Andrew Jackson? He's like fucking... Jesus Christ. Anyway.
Estimates of the numbers of duels in which Jackson participated ranged from 5 to 100. We know it was at least 5. But yeah, let me find the name of this guy because it's kind of just like going on and on and on and on. Charles Dickinson, I believe, is
that was his fucking name.
Charles Dickinson.
Yeah, there were only like 4 names in total back in the day, apparently.
Expert marksman. Yeah, 26-year-old expert marksman, famous duelist, Charles Dickinson, who, and like, I guess too, apparently, from what I'm seeing, it was a bit awkward on account of the whole Alexander Hamilton situation.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, like, damn, okay.
Yeah. I think, because I think that happened. Did that happen? Yeah, that happened. All right. Like, Alexander Hamilton was shot by Aaron Burr in 1804. So this was 2 years.
No.
Yeah,
wow.
2 years beforehand.
Yeah.
So everyone was kind of like, ew.
Maybe don't do that.
But yeah, it's just wild to me that Andrew Jackson was just kind of like, I'm just gonna let him shoot me.
And then I'm gonna fucking kill that guy.
Well, someone tried to assassinate Andrew Jackson, and he damn near clubbed the man to death with his cane. He just was kind of like, no, fuck that noise.
Dude, he was fucking crazy. Like, he was like unhinged. He was an unhinged motherfucker.
Like, it's one of those things where do I think he should be admired? No. Do I think he should be on our money? No. Big no. But do some of the stories of things that mostly of fights that he got into, they stick in my head. I'm like,
it's one of the things we should learn about him, and when I say we should learn about him, I'm like, we should learn about all of him. So we just like understand how fucking crazy this man was.
I mean, yeah, it's and of course too, I feel like one of the big ticket items here is like, Andrew Jackson being in the president who oversaw like the Trail of Tears and genocide and all that
fucking
sort
piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that is horrible.
That's what we need to learn, right? Like, we need to learn about how fucking crazy and like fucked up he was.
Yeah. Or maybe, I don't know though. I think maybe like in the direction of like the serious thing first, and then the sort of like really out there part of it after that, because then you're like, oh, that tracks.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you see, this guy was crazy. Who let him run? Also, why was he allowed to keep ruling? Was Andrew Jackson basically the Donald Trump before the Donald Trump? Was he like the OG Donald Trump, basically? Except that he wasn't an outsider, kind of.
That's a good question. I know Donald Trump admired Andrew Jackson, like specifically mentioned that. I know. I'm like,
Of course he did. Like, I don't even need to fact check you. I trust that is fucking correct.
I just remember it because I forget when it came up or like in what context, but I was like, yeah, that tracks. That tracks.
You won't forget it because you're like, this is true. This is a fact. This is that tracks with everything I fucking know.
Rudolph's surprised face. You don't say.
Oh no.
I also just before circling back to Elizabeth Bowtry, I also want to take a moment because another thing this is from I guess the 2020 election cycle that sticks in my brain is this one news anchor was asking Pete Buttigieg to speculate on which presidents were gay. And Pete Buttigieg goes, I don't know. He's like, my gaydar is bad enough with like living people. He was like, I don't know how I'm gonna figure out who of these dead people is gay. And I felt very torn because I was like, we've had 2 queer presidents at least 2 that I can think of.
I just died because I'm like, honestly, being gay was like Pete Buttigieg's like only redeeming quality. I'm like literally I can't think of anything else about him that I was like, he's okay. I'm like, just because he's queer, I'm like, fine, I guess. But like he sucked. Like
I do enjoy watching him on conservative programming because he gets to them, which is interesting to watch.
Yeah. Because it's I'm not here to hate on him, like, you know, he's fine. No, I'm just like literally like I was just like he's basically like just a Republican in a gay man's body. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay.
I think yeah, his politics are more conservative than I personally would like. But yeah, anyway, like I said, it lives in my brain. Just him kind of be like, what? Well, and also just it being kind of funny that the situation devolved into the reporter just kind of be like, okay, so what presidents are gay? Like, who do you think is what about?
As a gay man, you have the final word on this. Please tell us who were the gays.
Like Pete Buttigieg falls asleep, anywhere near the White House, and the ghosts of all the gay presidents just come up like, I'm gay. And
like, hey, you were almost one of us.
Yeah.
Hi, girl.
Pete Buttigieg just is kind of like, Herbert Hoover, I wasn't expecting that one. That caught me off guard. I definitely not Herbert Hoover. At least I'm pretty sure not. I mean, I feel
like so it's a Buchanan, and then like who are the other ones that you're like? I mean, I don't know a lot about like U.S. history. Like I know very bare bones stuff because it's not something that I definitely can't say that I know much more.
There were rumors about Hoover. My bad.
Ha!
Oh, okay. I just in terms of my interest I'm interested in history in general, and I have a tendency to absorb things. Abraham Lincoln had pretty queer in general. It's kind of one of those things too where I find I get frustrated when people will indicate, and this is true, indicate that kind of like our notions of sexuality, you know, are relatively new, like that they, you know, historically speaking didn't like exist. And it's like, okay, but it's like, if we are looking at it this way, if you were like, okay, if it, you know, based on X, Y, or Z thing, would we call Abraham Lincoln's like behavior proclivities, would we call them queer? I'm like, probably.
That makes sense.
Had some boyfriends, it seems. I mean, I think it's kind of, I don't think it's very ambiguous personally, but maybe I just am, you know, I'm not looking over the primary source documents. I'm just looking at, you know, what other people who are smarter than me and say about it. But you know, I think the evidence is compelling.
I mean, look, I also think it's like we've like, I don't know. I feel like it's just one of those things where you're like, it makes sense. Like, there's no way that they were just like all like, as like, especially because like once you get to that point, like you're like, I don't know, there's been too many presidents. Like, you know, none of them. Like,
There's been a lot. It's hard. Yeah, I can't keep track of all 46 of them. Another one that I was like, been learning a lot about how some people think like JFK might have had some trysts with some dudes.
that's fair.
Yeah,
I
see,
like Hoover
JFK.
was like, yeah.
I will say, Rudolph, I believe you're referring to J. Edgar Hoover. And
The FBI motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was, and J. Edgar Hoover
That checks out.
was never president. I was talking about Herbert Hoover, who needed like the special bathtub and everything.
He's special.
During the Great Depression.
There's so, you know, there's a lot of Hoovers to keep track of. I get it.
Yeah.
But that's a very good point, though. Also, yeah, like Edgar J. Hoover was a piece of shit. So, I mean, like, you know, not to be absolute in all my terms, but like I tend to be very absolutist when I like refer to people, especially when they're dead. Either they were the best fucking person in the world or they were the worst fucking person in the world. There's no in between.
I hear you, and it's one of those ones where like I have room for nuance after my initial like explosion of like, yeah, fuck that guy, and then I'm like, okay, you know.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, I'm not dumb. Like I get, like I know, but like, you know,
right.
My initial reaction is fuck that guy.
I mean, like, I love Charles II. I love that guy. Okay, he was eating people's skulls in a tincture, but.
But in other ways, he was kind of cool, you know? It's fine.
I'm sure.
Oh, no.
I'm sure he did a ton of unacceptable things because he had to have.
Also, yeah. Once you're a king, like, you know, there's no rules.
Yeah.
He would have been like, you know, I want to do all these weird shit that I know everyone else is not allowed to do, but I want to do them because I can.
Absolutely. Well, and he's why actresses were allowed on stage, like, legally. He was dating an actress, and she was just like, make it legal. And he was like, oh, okay.
He's like, okay, girl. He agreed to that while she was writing him, so he couldn't take it back. But he was like, oh, fuck. He probably wasn't very happy about that at the end.
I don't know. I mean, it worked out okay at the end of the day. I mean, Nell Gwynn. So in terms of, like, people that, you know, it's like, yeah! Nell Gwynn, very fun lady. At one point, someone called her a Catholic whore, and when she was in like a carriage, and she stopped the carriage and said, "No, you have the wrong one. I'm the Protestant whore." And then like got back in the car and like drove away.
10 out of 10. Wow, incredible! What a queen.
Yeah,
that's a great response.
I mean, Charles II had lots of girlfriends, lots of, you know, mistresses, etc., lots of children. And actually, have you ever watched Philosophy Tube? Mm-hmm. Do you know that Abigail Thorne is a descendant of Charles II?
I did not know that. That's fucking great.
Weirdly, I was like, that makes sense. I was like,
Abigail. There's a lot of people. Well, not a lot of people, but there's probably a significant amount of people who are descended from, I mean, you know, it's like one of those things was like Genghis Khan, kind of fucking, like, obviously not Genghis Khan level, but like, it's out here. Yeah,
what is that estimate? What is the estimate of like people who are related?
Like over 100. I fucking remember. This is me getting my sources from TV, though. Like, I can't really say that I've looked this up before.
How many descendants does Genghis Khan have? 16 million!
Holy fuck, that's so much more than I thought. That's so many people.
Uh, uh, so, wait, but I don't, I guess, so this was like studying, wait, this was just studying like Y chromosomes. Or no, oh wait, hold, okay. So, 0.5% of the entire male population of the world is a descendant of Genghis Khan.
That's some strong seed. There we go. That's how you know.
That's how you know. Can make some witches can make a lot of magnets out of that.
Well, I like that Abigail's related to Charles II though, because that's pretty cool. I didn't know that, but like you're right. Like I'm like that makes sense.
Right? It does on just like a deep level. It's hard to explain. Rudolph it has dreams of world domination.
Do you have Genghis Khan blood in your brain, my dude? Or in your body? Are you related to Genghis Khan? Is my question.
Tell us, chat. Are you related to Genghis Khan?
If there were 100 of you, we could be like at least half of you is.
Yes. Rudolph is from
you never know.
You never know. Small village in England. I do think it's funny how like often when people are talking about like past lives, they're always like Cleopatra, and it's never just like I'm some farmer.
That's how you know I'm like, okay, either you've like, I don't know where I stand about like the whole like reincarnation bullshit. Mm-hmm. But then I don't want to call it bullshit because it's not necessarily bullshit and like being
right
and but yeah, I know people that say that bullshit like that are like I'm related to Cleo, like I was Cleopatra in a past life. I'm like you're probably doing it wrong. Like you know what I mean? Like I once saw this video of a woman who went to someone who's like apparently good at like putting people in trance to figure that out. Mm-hmm. And they were like, yeah, I was just a soldier and I was like somewhere out and then I remember like dying. And I was like, that makes more sense to me. You were a fucking soldier who just died of something stupid in your 20s because there was no medicine back then. Like, that makes more sense than you being fucking Cleopatra Kelly. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I feel like that's how you do that past lifetimes thing.
Fucking Kelly, jeez.
I'm just like, you were not the fucking, like, of course you were. Yes, you were Cleopatra, girl. Of course you were.
Well, and I agree with you with respect to, like, I can't really speak to, reincarnation from the perspective of someone who is intimately familiar with it in a specific belief system. But right. Conceptually, though, I am like, although theoretically, someone would have to be Cleopatra, no?
Someone, but it's probably not that same girl that's like literally they're all from fucking Texas. No, I don't know. They're all from Texas. But like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not all Cleopatra, okay? She's probably somewhere back in Africa in one of the many countries there.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know either. Well, and that's something too that I always used to wonder, like, in terms of within reincarnation, like how are you dispersed? This is my dispersing souls, crab hands. How are you dispersed? Salt Bay. Because that's the other thing too. Like, are you reborn somewhere near where you died, or do you just like pop up somewhere else?
Randomized, like. Is it like I don't know if this is a real theory, but like I feel like at some point I was talking to someone about this, is like this idea of like you basically get reincarnated to whoever's like being birthed at the exact same time you were dying or something. I'm like, oh, that's kind of fun. Okay.
Wow.
But then like that feels kind of close. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, well, you kind of will grow up and be like, I don't know. And maybe you need some time in the abyss to like forget that you were someone and then come back, you know?
Karma chef putting Cleopatra's soul in Texas for flavor.
It's like, they'll never believe her. Just drops her up somewhere in fucking like Texas.
Dude. So the same friends where we had a pajama party during the 2016 election. Mm-hmm. We wrote a season of a show about about our friend who was the technical director at a children's theater just waking up one day in the body of Cleopatra as she's being rolled out in front of Julius Caesar, like out of the carpet, and just having to fucking cope and figure it out. Meanwhile, Cleopatra is in his body and has to perform for children.
Wait, that's fucking ridiculous though.
And
she's like,
we talked through it too, where we were just like, okay, so we have to like also have it be one of those things where over time we learn more and more pieces of like how this switch came to be, and everything like that. And I just kept like freaking out thinking about all the different things that our friend would have to go through as Cleopatra, and I was like, one of the things is having fucking twins, for example.
Oh my god, that sounds terrible. Honestly, like childbirth, but if you have to do it twice at the same fucking time, though, that sounds.
Yeah,
that's really. Maybe he learns the pain of women. He's like, wow, being a woman is hard on your body. Like, this is fucking hard. Well, I get paid once a month. Sorry.
Yeah, no, not at all. I was just thinking to myself, I was like, I think. So Cleopatra had twins, but those were Mark Antony's. I believe if Caesarean was first.
Oh.
Like in terms of, and that was Julius Caesar's kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is he where we get like C-section, like a Caesarean section from?
Fuck.
I don't think so. Couldn't be. Could it?
That'd be really fucking cool. Emily, you're about to fucking blow my mind. I don't know. Mean, it might not be the case, but like.
C-section name comes from. Where? Comes from whom? Roman law under Caesar decreed that all women who were so fated by childbirth must be cut open, hence Caesarean. Oh, so it comes from the name of like Caesar. Okay.
Oh.
There's also like some other possible origins. There's are suggested, like caedare, to cut.
Oh.
And
is that Latin or something?
Yeah. And the term, sorry, because I'm trying to like remember classical Latin pronunciation. I'm like caesanes, which is like applied to infants born by mortem operations. Okay, interesting.
Oh, so the mom dies and they're like, oh, we're gonna keep this baby alive.
Yeah, like, okay, well, we got the baby anyway. But yeah, so I guess yeah, so it's credited as being named after Julius Caesar, but Caesarean is also the name of Caesar's kid by Cleopatra, who I haven't managed to look it up just yet, but I am 90% sure that kid came before Mark Antony's. Cleopatra.
That makes more sense to me.
Ptolemy. Children.
I mean, based on like the sequence of events, right? It makes sense.
Yeah. Well, and also, I mean, granted though, before the Romans got involved, Cleopatra's family tree was really more of a twig. More of a circle.
That genetic diversity. How was she so smart considering the fucking gene fucking hodgepodge that she had going on, really?
You know, I think it was just like how cutthroat stuff could be back then, because like her younger sister Arsinoe was dope. Like she really? Yeah, Arsinoe was like 12 and like leading an army and stuff. Like, forget it. And actually,
I want to be the reincarnation of the sister, not Cleopatra. Mm-hmm. That's more believable.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, but like, you know, you're taking on not just like her older sister and everything else, but like her older sister allied with Rome is intense as shit. And if I recall correctly, like she was killed. She sought sanctuary at a temple. I want to say in Ephesus, and Mark Antony had her killed, and it was like a big to do because you're not supposed to kill someone when they're like seeking sanctuary somewhere.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, she was also like 13 or whatever. But yeah, Arsinoe was also like, I don't know, the Ptolemy ladies, at least of this general time period, pretty tough cookies and pretty clever. Yeah. So she had Cleopatra had 4 kiddos. Caesarion, the eldest. Alexander Helios, the next one. And that's Mark Antony's kid. Cleopatra Selene, also Mark Antony's kid, and then Ptolemy Philadelphus Antonius, also from Mark Antony. So she had 3 kids by Mark Antony and 1 by Caesar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They had fun, and then they died.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, as we do, and then she got reincarnated,
and now she's in Texas for flavor.
For flavor, she was sent to Texas.
Oh my god.
No.
Yeah, I love when it's something like that where it's just like, how likely is it really that you're Cleopatra? And then, like, there used to be fewer people, so some souls then presumably are new. But then, like, what about times when the population shrinks? Then what?
Right, are they on hold somewhere? That's why, like, that makes more sense, right? Like, if they're like, there's like, say like, I don't know, fucking know, say like there's 1 trillion souls like hanging around, and you only get to come back once like everyone goes 1 turn, so you get back in line or something like that.
Just kind of hang out, stare at the ceiling.
Yeah, they're just like, we're gonna, it's probably like the estimated wait time is probably gonna be closer to 10,000 years this time. Sorry, guys. It's getting shorter though. We're popping out more babies, so there's more bodies for everyone.
Yeah, just, someone just kind of like kicking the dirt, like, man, it was so much more fun when I was in Neanderthal. This is bullshit.
This is bullshit. What is this fucking body? I hate it. Why am I here? It's cold.
Iceland, why?
Iceland, who sent me here? It's because you pissed off that lady from accounting.
Yeah, obviously. It had to be. 7.8 Cleopatras. Why not?
Oh, well. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess so. That makes more sense. Let's do that. Let's just say that they basically spliced the souls. So that's why everyone like now is less impressive than they were before.
That I like that. Well, and that's why you have multiple soulmates, because they're all just like a part of your soul that got divided up.
Yeah, before you used to have 1, and now you're like, actually, you probably have 7.8 soulmates, so it's cool.
And you're all Cleopatra.
And you're all Cleopatra. That means that, you're smart and sexy. Go have fun with yourself.
Why not? Yeah, I like this theory a lot. Well, I mean, like, in terms of, like, when I was like, what happens when the population shrinks? I think about, like the Black Death, for example, right? Just took everybody out. So just, like, suddenly everyone's in line, like, what the fuck? There was no line here before.
They're like, I was only down there for 7 years. I was promised at least 35 this time. It's like, sorry, yeah, no, we're getting a lot of complaints. I know it was part of the plan. We were supposed to keep increasing the bodies, but somehow they're a bunch of defective ones now, and they're like spreading.
Yeah, there's a virus going around. It's corrupting all the files.
Sorry. Didn't plan on that. We will do our best to increase population by a faster pace, or like in a faster pace coming, like in the coming like generations.
Major plagues are just system resets.
Like, some Malthusian bullshit is probably about that life right now. They're just like, that's what we need. We just need a plague to kill the population.
I remember I like reading a handful of like threads online where people would say stuff like that, like, you know, we need a plague or we need a war, like we need to thin the herd or whatever, and I was like, that's a fucked up attitude to take. And now that there is a plague, I'm a bit like, it's your fault, you internet creeps.
You summoned it. You fucking summoned it, you pieces of shit.
The baby witches hexed the moon. Now we're here. I think actually the baby witches hexed the moon after the plague, but
yeah, no, they did after the plague. It's like back, yeah, it's like around the same. But I'm pretty sure that someone somewhere was like doing some blood fucking sacrifice trying to get this to happen. I hope they died.
Just everything. A lot of plague stuff hits different now that
we've been through one.
Yeah, now that we've experienced a little bit of one. I mean, we haven't like, you know. It's not
as bad as it could have been. Mm-hmm. Also because we are lucky / you know, I don't know, where we live.
Yes.
/ yeah. And we have medicine. But there's still dumbass people out here that even with medicine, they're just dying because they're not trying to.
Yeah. And like, what you call it? Well, yeah, like I feel very, very lucky to be in a privileged position where I have access to medical care and live in a time period where medical care exists. And I mean, it's also something too where this one is interesting because it's, you know, like respiratory, like it doesn't often have like manifestations on like the skin and stuff, like compared to say, for example, like the bubonic plague.
Right.
Which, yeah, it would, interesting makes it sound too like removed or whatever, you know what I mean? But it is interesting. Like I am very, once again, I'm like, interested is not the right word. I am interested, but like also kind of like in, you know, in an empathetic way. I'm interested in seeing kind of like what the long lasting psychological effects are of having gone through this if and when everything does get back to, you know, normal or normal adjacent, and you know, when the dust is cleared and it's like, okay, well now we have
when
to
it's no longer a public health emergency, because it still is, especially not, you know, in the rest of the world, like
and we're dreadfully behind our promises on like getting money and aid and vaccines to other parts of the world.
The thing is, like, it's not going to end either until it ends everywhere, because that's how you keep getting variants. So it's like really dumb that we're not like more aggressively just like, fine, if you guys don't want the vaccines, we're just going to give them to people who want them. And at least that way, you know, we're trying to, I don't know.
No, I agree. It's absolutely. Really stupid. It's wild. You know, I forgot about, like, I saw something like from a couple, I guess like from like a year and a half ago, where it was like a sign and it said something like, you know, I stopped saying avoid it like the plague because now I've seen how little people try to avoid a plague.
People like, remember when you see like all these movies of like, oh, if I was in this situation, I wouldn't do that. And then you see fucking people reacting in a plague like not like the thing in the movies, and you're like, you fucking idiots, all of you. Jude
Law in Contagion.
I know. Speaking it, yeah.
Friend of the show, Jude
Law in that film Contagion, where he was an anti-vaxxer, but not IRL. Obviously, we're not talking Jude Law. He's our friend.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. Yeah, I don't suspect Jude Law's anti-vaxxer IRL.
That's exactly right, Rudolph. I'm gonna be a zombie hunter. No, just kidding. I am the fucking zombie because I wouldn't take a fucking vaccine.
Yeah, for like a zombie scenario, I've always kind of tried to be like, what would I do? And my plan in my brain is like, go somewhere where I can just like a tree house over water so I can fish. So I could just like get a lot of fish, but be somewhere that they can't climb to.
Yeah, they can't climb, right? Zombies, as far as like what lore tells us, they probably can't climb very well.
Well, and actually too, I suppose they, even if they could, if it were during the summer, right? Because zombies usually like continue to decompose, right? So
yeah, they decompose faster.
Right, they wouldn't be able to like have all of their limbs attached enough to climb after, enough time in the summer. So
that makes sense. You also have the high ground, so you can shoot them with an advantage.
That's true. I would need someone who knows how to shoot. I would just kind of be there like, ah.
My designated plan for any kind of situation in which like zombies and or other creatures, like when the Ebola thing happened, like back in 2014, 2015. I just remember being like, if I got Ebola, I would set myself on fire. Like, I would just like, I don't think there's like, I wouldn't be trying to survive. And I feel like if I was in that situation in a zombie apocalypse, I'd also be like, I'm just gonna wait until I die because I don't think I'm capable enough of surviving.
Yeah, I would try, but I don't think I'd last very long. I'd give it a go.
If you get up to a treehouse at least, you might be able to make it.
I'd be like, fuck trying to find people at the CDC. We need to find a treehouse.
You're like, fuck your plan. Yeah, the CDC will take too long.
Yeah.
You just need a treehouse. That's what you need.
It is. That's yes. Treehouse, radio, tampons, I don't know. Stuff.
Possibly. Or you could just like be comfortable with there's just gonna be blood and everything.
Yeah, just it's the zombie apocalypse. Enjoy.
Or you could get a diva cup, and then you would not have to worry about tampons.
I would, yeah. Although I'd have to worry about sanitizing it, but that's you could just boil some water.
Just water and yeah, exactly.
I feel like I'd pull a full-on Sarah Michelle Gellar with a pink gun and a pink bandana and just immediately fall on my face. Nacho, yes. I love it.
At least you tried. You died in fashion. You were wearing something beautiful.
You went out in style. Yeah, what and I know you talked about Ebola. I was like, hemorrhagic fevers are rough. What's the survival rate on Ebola? I know it's better than like Marburg, but
yeah, but I mean, it's not like you won't survive, but like I feel like there's also like a lot of like negative like long-term effects.
That sounds about right. So originally 90%. Now it kind of depends on like the medical facilities that you're in and what people have access to. Then the lowest number I'm seeing is 25%.
Yeah. Like if you're like an American citizen and gets like flown to the US to a nice hospital, you have a okay chance of surviving.
Yeah,
75.
Yeah, not bad.
It's a C. C's get degrees.
C's get degrees, yeah. But yeah, 10% if you're somewhere rural, somewhere where they don't have access to that sort of stuff. It's apparently the average, like the mean case fatality rate is around 50%.
Okay.
Yeah. But
it's rough. Also, it's like terrifying. Like I feel like just like the fact that you're like there's just like so much blood coming out of you. I would just be like,
ugh. Like
say your prayers. Peace out.
Yeah. I just think I would be surprised and then like also too distracted by being in pain to really think about it too much. Just kind of like, that's new.
Yeah, you're right. You'd probably just be like completely like fucking absorbed by it. It's terrifying.
When I was feverish with my COVID vaccine, I had a lot of strange thoughts that I just was like, this is what we're doing. I was like, okay.
Damn, fever thoughts, you out here. I didn't know my brain could do that. What is that connection?
I was like, I am on another plane of existence. I am in another dimension. I feel bad that my cat's here because he doesn't realize that I've gone to another dimension. He's just looking at me. He's like
you're like, I can't tell him that I've left the building, but hopefully he'll be fine. There's food in his bowl. He'll be okay for a few hours.
Yeah, Sly knew I had left the building. Like he was like kind of like watching me and like keeping an eye on me and like curled up with me. And then once I started to get better and he like noticed that I was returning to Earth from like Jupiter or wherever the fuck I was. He was like, oh, okay, now I want food. Now I'm the baby again. I was like, okay.
He's like, I want to be baby again.
Yeah.
You were
and I was
baby
like,
for like a few hours, and I guess that's fine. But for the rest of the time, I'm baby. I get that in my heart. I respect that.
yeah. A part of my brain introduced itself to me and said her name was Katrina, and I was like, Katrina? And she was like, yeah, it's my name. Like, why wouldn't it be Katrina? I was like, no, I wasn't expecting that. It was just like this weird, awkward conversation where I was like, I just wasn't expecting you to say.
What? I mean, like, it's not like I chose this name. You're like, but didn't you? Like, brain? Didn't you? Of all the names I know, didn't you decide that you were gonna call yourself Katrina? It's like, it's your fucking fault. It's your brain.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny though, because now I'm saying all this and I'm like, watch, the next time I get a fever, Katrina's gonna be like, I heard what you said about me.
I heard you were talking shit. I'm gonna fucking kill you now. You're gonna be with me the entire next 24 hours until this fever leaves. I'm not gonna let you have a second of fucking peace.
Katrina is gonna just like
vindictive bitch.
Even though she's in my head, just like somehow like bend over me and just be like, I'm Cleopatra, bitch.
She's like, you knew this. Does she have a Russian accent? Maybe Katrina. Maybe it's Katarina and you misheard.
Maybe. I mean, no, she was just like, it's just some dude like that. Like,
hey, hi, my name is Katrina. I'm actually a dude.
It's just like I'm just a part of your brain. Like I'm a different entity and I live in your brain. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. That makes perfect sense right now.
Very cash.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm your gateway drug.
So I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm like, I suspect it wouldn't be that whimsical if I had a hemorrhagic fever, but I'm just saying, like, you know, the brain does crazy things.
That sounds more fun.
Yeah, it was way more fun.
At the very least.
I would definitely take the vaccine over any kind of horrible illness that could kill me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Vaccines are good. Go boots and all. Sorry, I'm just catching up with with Nacho's descriptor of what he's wearing. And Katrina's Russian accent. Yeah, no Russian accent. I wish, for some reason, part of me wishes she was like French. I think that would be fun.
Hello, my name is Katrina.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
I don't know French. I was just like, to sick.
How you say sick?
Comment se dit sick?
Yeah.
I'm like,
wait.
I don't know. Comment se dit? No, not comment se dit. Say, God damn it.
I was like, that's fun. It's a Spanish French accent. I like that. It's fun. I don't know how to speak French. Je ne pas français. Is that how you say I don't speak French, right? Because that's what I say.
Yeah, I think je ne peux pas français. I'm not, yeah.
Je ne peux pas français.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you.
Je ne parle pas français. Oh, that's like when you say I don't understand. Je ne comprends pas, I think.
That makes sense. Je ne comprends pas. That makes sense. Je ne comprends pas.
I don't know. I tried Duolingo French for like a week, and it was just like, pum. And I was like, apple, okay, I got it. And then it was like, pum. Le pum.
I like that that's important to retain that too, Rudolph, because now if someone asks you in French if you speak French, you could be like, no, I do not speak French. And that way you communicate. The most important thing is that please don't continue this conversation in French with me.
My favorite thoughts just like, hi, my name's Katrina, and my name is Hugh, and I'm Sarah, and I'm Emma, and I'm Jonesy.
Motherfucking Jonesy.
My God.
She's my favorite.
Jonesy and Riley are my favorites in Letterkenny. I love
That's
Jonesy and Riley so much.
He's fucking great. I actually like him a lot too.
It's funny because Sasha was so surprised. She was like, Jonesy and Riley are your favorites? I'm like, yeah. It's always
Yeah.
I feel like you know, similar thing like with Squid Game where like I love Minyo and I'm like, well, because when she's involved, shit goes to 11. She's not fucking
Yes.
around. Like I want to hang out with her, get a beer with her,
Chaotic.
no. But like I love watching her when she was like yelling at that guy pretending to like take a shit or whatever. I was just like this lady.
I live for chaotic characters. Like the more chaotic, the better. Just give me. That's why I'm like here, like Jay from Big Mouth. Like all, like just give me the person that's yelling and everyone else doesn't know what to do about it.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I love a good chaotic character. I also love the quiet chaotic characters. I love those too. The ones where you're like just out of nowhere. You kind of like forget about them and then they're back and they just say the most bizarre thing. You know, I guess I was like maybe like an April Ludgate kind of thing where like, you know, she's quiet, but then when it's time for her to talk, she's just
fucking chaotic.
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Any kind of chaotic person, that's a good point. Just chaotic people in general.
Absolutely. Oh, okay. I'm looking at the time.
I was gonna say
I have to run. I have rehearsal. I'm gonna be in a motion picture, and I have rehearsals tonight.
Em is an actor.
Yes. So that apparently that I'm an actor again, which is exciting, but also weirdly a little nerve wracking. Thank you.
Exactly. Break a leg.
Thank you for
very hype.
Andrea.
Sorry for not letting you know sooner because I was like, wait, does she know the time? And then I was like, I don't know if she knows the time.
Oh no, I was, but I was enjoying the conversation. I was like, I can take another 10 minutes. Thank you for having a slumber party with me, everyone. Thank you for having the slumber party with us.
Thanks again, everyone, for hanging out.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna roll credits. Bye, everybody. Good night.